Hi, I'm Jason Keith from jasonkeithmedia.com. In today's video blog post, I want to talk a little bit about one of my favorite website promotion and SEO techniques, link building techniques, and that's to use press release submission. In this video, it doesn't really matter if you're using free press release submission or paid press release service. I wanted to talk a little bit about what a press release should consist of, in case you've never done a press release. First and foremost, you want to make sure that whatever your press release is about is a newsworthy topic. And, there's lots of things that could be considered newsworthy as it applies to your company or website. If we're talking about your company, a newsworthy event could be a new location or a relocation. It could be the addition of a new employee or the promotion of an employee. It could be the announcement of a company anniversary or some sort of upcoming event. It could be a new product or service that you've added, or an enhanced product or service that you've created. It could be the redesign of a website or addition, major change to a website. There's lots of different things that could be newsworthy about your company. The one thing you want to not do is make it just a promotional advertisement for something. That's advertising. Press releases should be something newsworthy as it applies to your company and the industry. So once you know that you've got a newsworthy topic, the next thing you want to focus on is having a good, attractive headline, something that's going to attract readers to want to look at it. Now, if your primary purpose of the press release is for SEO, is to get traffic to your website, one common tactic in your headline is to use your primary keywords in your headline. For instance, let's say that it's a dental clinic that you're trying to get search engine traffic for. You might say Denver Dentist Clinic announces new website, or Denver Dentist Office announces new location. Something to that effect where you've got the keyword up front instead of just using your company name, which you're probably already going to rank for. So a headline is important. There's two different ways to go about it. It could just be an eye-catching, grabbing headline, or it could be one with your primary keywords in it if you're trying to get traffic to your website or help with SEO benefit. The next thing you want to make sure of whenever you do a press release is that you write it in what's referred to as the inverted pyramid format. And what the inverted pyramid format is that's a journalism term. Each time that a journalist writes a story for a newspaper, he or she knows that the majority of readers will never finish that news article. Therefore, they have to put the majority of the good quality content at the top of the article and then filter down to the least important stuff. So that's what is referred to as the inverted pyramid. If you picture a triangle, you want to put your most important content up front, followed by your somewhat or moderately important content in the middle, and then just your basic information, the stuff that's just kind of add-on stuff for the press release at the end, because your reader may never get to that. So since we're writing press releases with the ultimate hope that a journalist picks it up and puts it in a newspaper, or maybe a blogger picks it up and puts it on their blog, a lot of them are going to be looking at making sure it's in the inverted pyramid format. So make sure that you keep that in mind. Basically, in a nutshell, put the most important information at the beginning of the press release. Once you've structured the way your press release is going to go, the next thing you want to look at that journalists look at are what are called lead sentences. And that's the first sentence at the beginning of a press release or news story. The lead sentence should basically capture the who, what, when, where, and why all in one sentence. And if you look at most news stories in the newspaper, you'll see a lead sentence at the beginning that says exactly what that's about. So if you write your press release in that format, it's also good because you make sure anybody that reads it is going to learn everything about your press release in the first 10 to 15 seconds of reading that press release. So that's an important piece. After you move forward from the lead sentence, one thing that you want to make sure of in a press release that you have is a authoritative quote from someone in your organization or your company. Could be the president, could be a spokesperson, could be some sort of manager. It kind of depends on the topic of the press release. For example, if your press release was about the announcement of new positions or open job opportunities at your company, you might have a hiring manager quoted. Whereas if it was about some sort of lawsuit or something, you might want your CEO or legal representative mentioned. So you know, that's a case by case, but it's always good to have a quote in there. And that way, if the media does pick up on it, they may just run that quote from this company representative, or they may call your company and ask to do an interview with this person. After you have the authoritative quote, you want to talk about having a boilerplate at the end of your press release. And the boilerplate basically is just your company information with your contact information. So it might just say, you know, James M. Jones, DDS, is a dental office serving the greater city of Denver. For more information, call da-da-da, and or visit the website at, you know, the website address. So a boilerplate is something that you may use at the end of every press release. A lot of companies will have the same standard boilerplate or company information and contact information that they use at the end of every press release. So that's one thing to make sure you have in your press release. Finally, one thing I would just want to talk about that's not necessarily a structurally part of the press release is the writing style that you use. It's best if you write it in the Associated Press format. And there's a couple of websites that I'll put links down below this video that will have, you know, certain terms that you should use for AP style. Another thing to consider is making sure that you write the content of your press release at no more than an 8th grade reading level. And that's because if a newspaper picks it up, you know, unless it's a sophisticated newspaper or publication, but major news sources they want that content written between a 5th and an 8th grade reading level. So in a nutshell, make sure that, you know, if you've got a big word and there's a smaller one available for that word, use the smaller one. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Again, press releases are something that we utilize all the time for our SEO clients, for our public relations clients, and for our reputation management clients. They're a great way to drive traffic and build links to your website. So let me know if you have any questions on this. Thanks.